relatively, we own a lot more of the Bitcoin than we own of the gold, that's a real check in favor of Bitcoin. The fact that Bitcoin has just begun its process of monetization, while gold has, the Lindy of thousands of years of monetary history behind it. Yeah, gold has room to go up, but probably Bitcoin has a lot more room to go up. The fact that Bitcoin is digital and can be sent basically instantly and for free across the globe if you ever needed to call on the collateral behind debt, if we're going to use it that way, that's a big advantage in favor of Bitcoin. And so just from like forget as Bitcoiners for a second, PPI really tries to take the position, what is good for America? How can we create good Bitcoin policy for America? Bitcoin, I think, is really an indispensable tool in this regard. Basically, whatever you think of Triven's Dilemma, whatever you think of the last 50 or 80 years of American economic history, wherever we're going next, Bitcoin is a really important asset to help us get there.
And there's a quick take. You're seeing the Bitcoin argument over the gold argument and why Bitcoin is going to be the fastest horse in the race. And with that, what's happening in Crypto Cruise? Sean's coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. We're seeing global M2 money supply exploding. Inflation's cooling off, rate cuts coming soon, gold's making all-time highs. This is a perfect setup for Bitcoin. And right here, you see on the charts, we've had this chop. We went in this channel, blasted up, and now we're in this downwards falling wedge. This is a bullish pattern, as you see right here. We come up in a bullish fashion, come down, everybody gets scared, and blast off to the races. Speaking of fear and greed index, right now it's at 30, and it's definitely a buying opportunity. Taking a look at the Bitcoin price chart at the current time it's recording, what do we see? What do we anticipate? 84K is that magnet. Can we get above 84K? If you look at this downtrend, Bitcoin has hit its head once, twice, 3, 4, 5, and then broke through, and now we're just sort of trading in this channel. And the channel is really from 83.5 to 85.2. So when we come back up to this upper bound here, the 85.2 range, and get a daily close, we've had major wicks below and above, but when we get that candle close out of this channel, that will be indicative of where Bitcoin is going next. If we fall out of this channel, the next level to pay attention to is the 81.4 range. And now could Bitcoin wick below or even come back down to back test this downwards resistance level? Yes, that could be a possibility. We could roll over, back test, still put in a higher low option here before coming up to the next level. The next level to the upside to pay attention to is that $92,000 range. As you see, this acted as massive support back in the early 2025, and now it's acted as resistance. So that's the next level to pay attention to the upside if we do break up. If we break up above that, then we'll be seeing new all-time high area sooner rather than later. That's what we see for Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, the current time it's recording, we had a close around 311. Definitely seems like the tide could be turning. Could we see lower price action? Could we get a rollover, a back test to lower price action? Possibly. Right here, you see this downtrend. We have broke out of it, but we broke out of it before and then came back down into it. So will we have that same price level to where we come back all the way down to the $236 range? That will be what's in the cards. We had these wicks below the 233. We had these massive candles, but look at this huge green bullish engulfing candle. We came back about 50% of the candle and had a continuation, and it seems like we're stair-stepping our leg up to the next level. The next level to the upside to pay attention to per the breakout, per some inverse head and shoulders on the smaller time frames, you're looking around 365 to 370 range. Could we be seeing that over the next week to week and a half? Once Bitcoin makes this move, MicroStrategy is going to move very quickly. So it could happen over the next few days, possibly. So be in mind that this is a buy opportunity, but always prepare for downside price action if it comes. Rick Units, and he's showing you a pattern that could be mirroring right here. You got a 1, 2, 3 before a blast off, and right here, this is a 1, 2. We haven't seen that 3 down. Note that 3 actually had the lowest close for candle bodies. So if that is something that's indicative of what's coming for Bitcoin, we would actually get a candle close below 76,000. So this would fall through and potentially retest lower price action. Major level all the way down to $70,000. And we have this upwards trend line support that could be 71. So if we fall through this, that would be the lower levels to pay attention to per Rick Unit's thesis here. So make sure you're prepared and don't get caught on the wrong side. But right here, this looks like altcoins could be getting ready to be extremely bullish, as this upwards trend line has been respected since 2023. We've had a bounce to the upside. We've had a double tap in 2024, bounce to the upside. We came back down in 2025. Will we see this rally to the upside sooner rather than later? The RSI is in a falling wedge, which we told you before. This is a bullish pattern that should be blasting up. This could be definitely bullish for alts and the overall crypto market. Gary Gensler, Scary Gary. People despised Gary for years because he was basically holding crypto and Bitcoin back. There's been a lot of legislation that's happened since he's been thrown out since Trump became president, but he is now flipping to a bull. You want to check this out? You won't believe your ears.
Hey, Gary, final question for you. As you probably watched, so many CEOs were doing almost victory laps in the crypto world as these enforcement cases were dropped by this current administration of cases, of course, cases that you had brought. As you watched that, what did you think?
Look, I'm going to step back a little bit from any individual cases and just say this again to your viewing public. This is a very small part of the financial markets. But if you were interested in this, think about every financial asset sort of trades on a bit of fundamentals and sentiment. But this field is almost 99, or maybe one might say 100% sentiment and very little on fundamentals. And while something like Bitcoin may persist for a long time because there's 7 billion people around the globe, a real keen interest in it, there's 10 or 15,000 others of these tokens. And to think through your own risk, your own personal risk about where are the fundamentals. And if this is just about sentiment, then generally those don't end up well, and most then go down.
Are you talking, you're contrasting Bitcoin with the other ones, or they're all the same?
Joe, I'm glad that you spoke up because I know you're a bit of a Bitcoin enthusiast and think less well of the rest of those. It's how you and I have always connected in the green rooms. But think of these 10 or 15,000 other tokens, and just on the economics, just on the fundamentals, what are the fundamentals?
No, I know. But that was my question. You throw Bitcoin in with the rest of them, or do you think Bitcoin is different and is qualitatively different than the others?
I think there's the distinction is similar to in metals, there's only 2 or 3 precious metals. We humans have a certain fascination with 2 or 3 precious metals like gold. I don't think we humans will have a fascination with 10 or 15,000 meme or sentiment tokens trading over the years.